During the historic launch of the ABP in Birnin Kebbi State, President Buhari, accompanied by the Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, CBN Governor, and governors from some rice-producing states, sowed the first seeds and expressed optimism that the ABP would reduce drastically the huge sum spent by the country on food importation, as well as provide employment to teeming Nigerians.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to welcome you all to this important event as we strive forward achieving food self-sufficiency as a nation. The importance of agriculture and the economy cannot be overemphasized.
A symbolic check of 2.6 billion naira to rice farmers and millers who are here with us this afternoon.
The fall in global oil prices and the squeeze on the nation's foreign reserves was indeed a timely reminder that the country has no option but to diversify its economy away from oil and into agriculture, services, and other non-oil sectors.
I always say that my selfish interest is because there is no forex, and because reserve is down. We think that because we can grow rice in Nigeria, that we need to be able to begin to grow rice to feed ourselves. Not just rice, cassava, yam, wheat, palm oil, even poultry products, because we can grow them in the country. There is no need for us to spend scarce foreign exchange to import these items into the country.
The Central Bank of Nigeria created the Anchor Borrowers Program, through which they are financing the efforts across the different states, and the governors of the different states keyed into this program by assuring the federal government that we will provide loans, we will provide land, and we will motivate and encourage our farmers and processors to go into rice and wheat production so that we can employ our people, we can create income for our people, and we can serve to provide output which can be exported to Nigeria, in addition to Nigeria being self-sufficient.
From Kebbi to Anambra, from Cross River to Niger, Anchor Borrowers Program ABP has been a success story all the way. From the launch of the program in Kebbi, the ABP is being replicated in about 26 states. Through the support of the CBN, in partnership with state governors, smallholder farmers who have formed themselves into cooperatives have cultivated large expanse of land. The Central Bank of Nigeria has set aside 40 billion naira from the 220 billion Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Development Fund, MSMEDF, to be given to the farmers at a single-digit interest rate of 9%. So far, about 22 billion naira has already been disbursed to the benefiting farmers.
I understand there are over 14,000 farmers that have been supported under this scheme in Niger State, and we have disbursed close to 2 billion naira under this scheme, under the Anchor Borrowers Program. There is the state government itself has also applied for the state intervention to support the farming community, and I can assure you that this will receive speedy processing and will also be approved in due course.
Through the special intervention funds, to the agro people, we got 1.5 million before. We gave it out and it came back properly, and we're giving out again. So we need that expanded to about 5 billion. We give it to these farmers. They are very curious, very excited to be doing this kind of a business, because that's why I'm telling everybody to go into farming.
In Anaku, Ayamelum local government area of Anambra State, Koscharis Rice Farm is a perfect example of the Anchor Borrowers Program in action. Through the support of the CBN and the Anambra State government, the Koscharis Group has cultivated 800 hectares of land for rice production. For the Koscharis Group, this dream was long in coming, and he took the Anchor Borrowers program to make it possible.
This is a dream of 29 years that actually became a reality 2 years ago. We did not get into agriculture by means of like accident or just trying to do anything. This has been a brainchild. It's in the master plan of Koschari's group. When we talk about, providing leadership, it's about government providing the enabling environment for business to thrive.
Nigeria consumes an estimated 8.1 million metric tons of rice annually, while about 2.6 million metric tons are produced locally. The rest are imported. But this is about to change. 210,000 metric tons of rice from the Anambra State Rice Farm Initiative and 4,000 metric tons from Koschari's farms, also from Anambra State, and 1 million metric tons each from rice farm clusters in Anambra, Cross River, Ebonyi, Kebbi, Niger, and Sokoto states are expected yields through the CBN ABP support to farmers.
That we're importing rice when we can grow rice. We're importing tomatoes when we can grow tomatoes. We're importing milk when we can grow dairy. We have people and companies in Nigeria who would have taken on the initiative. And I keep talking about milk. We've been importing milk for 60 years. And I say it's time those kind of companies began to say we need to produce our dairy in Nigeria.
In meeting the nation's increasing food needs, the CBN-backed Anchor Borrowers program is also poised to create over 2 million jobs for teeming Nigerians in the actual agricultural production and value chain processes.
The rice sector alone will take on about 2 million people before we begin to satisfy our needs of 8 million tons of rice. This is heavily mechanized. The smaller farmers don't have all this machinery, but they contribute immensely. So jobs. The millers are there, the marketers, the transporters, the distributors, and so on. All of them will be part of this business just for rice. We haven't talked of cassava, of maize, of sorghum, of millet. We haven't talked of milk and beef, of yams and so on. So the future is huge, the jobs are there, and the time is coming when Nigerians have no reason to cross the desert to go and suffer in Europe.
Definitely the people here are very happy with CBN, and let me seize this opportunity to thank the Minister and the CBN Governor for all the support. He has been very helpful, and this has created a lot of job opportunities to communities around here.
Agriculture is now enjoying its hitherto pride of place in the quest to diversify the country's economy. With the country's population projected to double its present size, experts agree that this is the time to prepare for the future.
Rice, 7 kilometers down and 30 kilometers this way, and towards Auyo another 25 kilometers. All cultivated rice.
Ready to harvest.
And this is ready for harvest, and this is one of the few fields that we introduce a lot of technology. You can see how thick the field is, and we're anticipating 7.5 to 8 tons per hectare harvest in these fields, which means we'll be competitive enough to produce rice in this country without any problem.
18,000 square kilometers of land available for rice. Anybody who needs rice map, please come to Cross River State. We are going to give you land to grow rice. We want President Buhari to remain convinced that his dream, with the support of CBN, that Cross River State and Nigeria will be rice sufficient, that Cross River State is going to participate in that struggle.
Despite the economic recession being witnessed in the country, it is different tales for farmers. Supported by the Anchor Borrowers program, the farmers say they are experiencing an economic boom.
I'm very grateful. This is a time I have never expected in my life. A whole minister, governor of Kebbi State, who has been leading the farmers' governors here in Jigawa to see my farmers. I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful with the president for introduction of this Anchor Borrower program. His child, Honorable or His Excellency Muhammad Bada Abubakar, Jigawa State Governor, is emulating him. We are very grateful. We are very grateful. Farmers are now rich people.
Thank you.
We were harvesting only 4 tons per hectare. Now we can harvest up to 10 to 7 tons, 7 to 10 tons. And the father was selling just 4,000 naira before. It's now up to 10,000. So this is the best time the farmers are now getting richer and richer.
I can beat my chest and tell you now, Kebbi State this year we have produced around 88,000 millionaires. 88,000 millionaires. Each and everyone who participated in Anko Borrowers in rice production, this year he became a millionaire. A farmer who don't know how to raise 100,000 in his hand at once because of 6 months activities, he is now becoming a millionaire.
Ni jagorancin rabon kaya na karamar hukumar mulki na Kalgulo gaman gaba dai ba ma na mazaɓar gaba. Kuma babu garin da ban tai ba gonaki na mun ka tai nema na manoma. Sai mun shiga gonanka mun ga gonanka musa a baka inji a baka takin nan. Ina tabbata muku babu maganar dan jam'iyya ko wani basarake komi duk wanda an manomi shi mun ka ba kayan ga kuma ko wanda duk ya kai ga matsayin bai iya noman ga mun hidda shi babu magana da wani basarake da talaka da kowa abin da muka bukata kowa ya sai da kawata ya to ai noman ga saboda mun san ga nasara na Allah ya kawo muna ya kawo talakan kasar ga mahita karkashin jagorancin mai girma shugaban kasa
bashi na gwamnati an ba mu mun ba kowa da kowa sannan mun gode ma Allah da gwamnan jihar Kebbi Alhaji Atiku Bagudu ya ba mu kuɗi da injinma da takuna masu yawa mun kai aiki mun ka faɗaɗa 'yan uwa sun ka gani sun ka faɗo a ciki ne don haka muna wa gwana godiya ga Allah ya kawo shi nan lafiya muna roƙon Allah ya maishe shi lafiya bayan haka nan muna fata a kuɗin da ya bamu mun fara biya in mun ci mu ga shinkafa za mu yi da biya saboda.
In spite of the identified success of the CBN policy initiative that has now advanced the status of smallholders to commercial farmers and jump-started the revival of agricultural production that will guarantee food security for the country, there are still some challenges. There have been reported incidences of flooding. Large-scale plantations of rice have been destroyed by flood in parts of the country.
As a result of what we call excessive rain or flooding, some farms were lost, some rice was lost through the flooding. But we'll see how we can also support them once they put the proposals together. But how can we build some dikes that will support and make sure that the incidents of flooding destroying agricultural produce will be brought to the past.
More so, there is also the need for all tiers of government to work in tandem in expediting decisions aimed at encouraging farmers in efforts geared towards ensuring food security in the country. Another area the farmers require assistance is in the area of mechanization and in the value chains. The product's capacity to meet and compete favorably with international standards lies in the processing. To this end, the Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Chief Audu Ogbe, and the CBN Governor, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, have assured the farmers of mechanized system of production as government plans to provide them with harvesters and millers.
We'll have to talk with you and find how to install them quickly.
Very well, sir.
So you can start milling the rice.
Okay.
And from if the reapers don't come before the middle of November,
yes,
the next season you will not harvest your rice manually.
Whatever you need to continue to push this dream of feeding our people, the central bank stands ready to support you. You've done an excellent job taking it to this level, and what we can only do is to support you by taking it to assisting you to take it to even to higher levels.
So far, 174,337 farmers have participated in the wet and dry season farming in the Anchor Borrowers program. A breakdown of this data shows that there are 14,000 farmers in Niger, 36,252 farming families in Jigawa, 80,000 farmers in Kebbi, 20,000 in Kano, 23,960 in Adamawa and 5,000 in Sokoto. Enugu State records 20,000 farmers, 5,000 in Ebonyi, and 14,392 farmers in Zamfara State. These farmers have benefited from the CBN-initiated Anchor Borrowers Program within the last year. These categories of farmers are the smallholder farmers that have been given loans from the ABP. Other farmers, such as the Coscharis Group and Elephant Group, are also enjoying support from the CBN Anchor Borrowers Program.
I just want to clarify that the Anchor Borrowers Program is for anybody who is willing to be a farmer or to farm or to process. And in Kebbi, we left it to the leadership of the Central Bank of Nigeria. They were involved at all levels: beneficiary identification, distribution, disbursement. And I'm glad that RICO had produced the results we are seeing today.
The journey to make Nigeria a self-sufficient country, a country that will produce its food and feed its people, is being realized at this time.
The Anchor Borrowers Program is not only about funding farmers of rice, wheat, and other cereals. The CBN initiative is indeed a comprehensive plan to fund agriculture production of crops like maize, cocoa, and cassava, as well as fish, poultry, and livestock. The CBN governor, during an inspection tour by the Presidential Task Force to some agricultural projects in Ogun State, expressed the bank's readiness to resuscitate age-long agricultural potentials across the Federation and raise agriculture productivity in the country.
This visit is part of the assessment tour that has been directed by the President for us to go around the entire Federation, not just about rice or about tomatoes or about millet, but also about even coming down south to see to it that what can we do to resuscitate some of our age-long agricultural potentials. I see here a dam. I understand there are 8 dams here. 11 dams in this state. And in this facility, you have a facility that was developed in the First Republic that has become moribund as a result of the fact that it was abandoned. But I can assure you that this dam can be resuscitated so we can get back into dry season farming, for maize particularly.
The governor urged farmers in the country to take advantage of the various CBN agricultural intervention funds to boost the production of crops. This, he said, will reduce the importation of products, especially those in which Nigeria has a comparative advantage. While the CBN has received commendations for efforts in revamping agricultural value chains across different crop types, the CBN, however, reminded participating financial institutions in the country to desist from charging double-digit interest rate on intervention funds guaranteed by the bank.
I thank God for what the present administration of President Mohamed Buhari is doing, and CBN is in tow supporting that, and we have to give kudos to the Federal Ministry of Agriculture as well. And I have to thank my brother that is here, the CBN governor, all of them, because now they are giving single-digit facility to our people.
The success of the Anchor Borrowers Program is gradually being felt and recognized.
You are now making villagers rich. I was in Katsina last night. I met a farmer who sold 200 bags of sorghum for 20,000 naira each. They paid him 4 million naira in one afternoon. He almost went insane. He said he had never seen so much cash. The rice farmers chairman in Jigawa told us we are getting richer. For over 50 years, we have never really tried to make the villagers rich. We've left them in their misery. Now money is reaching them, and we, the elite in the cities, are complaining. Of course, I know things are tough, But until we sort out the villages and the rural areas, Nigeria's dream for development will never happen.
The Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Muhammadu Sa'ad Abubakar III, expressed appreciation to the CBN for its efforts at ensuring food security and a new lease of life for farmers. The monarch said that the bank's commitment was worthy of celebration at all times.
But we have offered to give these funds to various states, to various agencies, either through Agri-Bank or other places, to help us produce more food for our people, for our teeming population. We believe we can have that strength to produce food, not only for Nigeria, but to export to other parts of the world. We need commitment, and we want to assure you, CBN Governor, here we are committed, the Governor is committed, and we believe you have not misplaced your priorities by coming to partner with Sokoto State Government and our farmers.
In the words of the Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Chief Audu Ogbe, the sustenance of this laudable anchor borrowers program will check the importation of rice into Nigeria. The anchor borrowers program, when sustained, in essence will achieve the following amongst others: reduce commodity importation and conserve external reserves, reduce the level of poverty among smallholder farmers, create jobs, assist rural smallholder farmers to grow from subsistence to commercial production levels, and facilitate the emergence of a new generation of farmers and entrepreneurs. A rice revolution that will ensure food security in Nigeria has indeed begun.